Sharks are creepy creatures about which many horror films have been made. On the big screen, they regularly attack people, leaving them no chance of survival. But that's just the movies. What about real life? Today, you will see 15 videos where people came face to face with these sea predators. It seemed like an ordinary walk along the California Gulf. The sun was shining, the weather was beautiful, but even on such a fine day, you need to stay on your guard. A huge shark silently swam up from behind, planning to catch a rower off guard and have a real feast. Fortunately, the man noticed strange waves and turned his head just in time. Without hesitation, he delivered several precise blows to the shark's head, ruining its chance for a hearty lunch. If you've seen the movie Jaws, you can imagine the sheer power of a shark's bite. While cage diving as a form of adventure, a young couple never expected to come face to face with their worst nightmare. A great white shark, drawn to the light of their flashlights, lunged at the cage and bit through their extra air tank with its powerful jaws. The crew pressed the red button to raise the cage, but as these terrifying images show, the predator wasn't deterred. It kept circling the cage, seemingly unfazed by their escape attempt. Australian beaches break records year after year for shark attacks on people. Apparently, this bold individual hadn't been keeping up with the news. He decided to go fishing on a completely wild beach and managed to catch a shark on his hook. Without fearing for his life, he calmly approached the predator, stroked it, and even took a few spectacular photos. It seems Lady Luck favors the brave, and this young man proved that statement in practice. Even professionals can find themselves in trouble. A popular travel blogger was filming his latest video in Florida. The day started with peaceful fishing, just like any other, until a strange and obviously massive fish got caught on his line. What could possibly be on the hook? For over 10 minutes, the blogger struggled to reel in the fish, but his efforts were in vain. Determined to uncover the mystery, he lowered his camera to the bottom to capture the creature. It turned out to be a shark. Noticing the camera, the shark quickly attacked the boat. Realizing he was a hair's breadth away from serious danger, the blogger didn't push his luck any further. He made his way back to shore, shaken but safe. I wonder what a diver feels when a great white shark swims just a few meters away. These predators possess an incredibly sensitive sense of smell, and it's fortunate that the creators of this video didn't attract its attention. Once you come face to face with a great white, the chances of survival are slim, an unsettling statistic to say the least. Diving itself is inherently risky. You never know what awaits you underwater, especially if it's your first dive. For instance, a young scuba diver unexpectedly encountered a tiger shark, one of the most dangerous shark species in the world. According to statistics, 93% of such encounters end in tragedy. Armed with a long stick featuring a sharp tip, the diver managed to keep the unwelcome guest at a safe distance. Despite this, the shark repeatedly attempted to close in, but fortunately, its efforts were unsuccessful. What can happen when you jump into the water from a small cliff? Anything, even an encounter with a shark. While a friend was preparing to jump, our hero, equipped with a GoPro, spotted a massive predator just 2 meters away. Fortunately, the great white shark showed no intention of attacking, which ultimately saved the man's life. According to official records, these sea predators attack humans in 99 cases out of 100. In the Bahamas, a family of Americans was enjoying their vacation with their children. Watching them splash around from the safety of a boat, they could never have imagined that they were being watched. Suddenly, a shark began quickly approaching. The boys panicked, but with quick thinking, they managed to scare it off with a sharp harpoon. All of this shocking footage was captured by a small camera attached to one of the boys' headgear, complete with goggles and a mask. Fishing for soup almost cost one man his life. He had decided to document his kayaking adventure while successfully pulling edible fish onto his side. Opting to fish with live bait, he unknowingly attracted a shark to his kayak. The predator's sudden movements took him by surprise, but his quick reaction saved him. The shark attempted to grab the fisherman's hand, but thankfully, he was faster. Popular activities like diving into shark cages may seem thrilling, but they are far from safe. Two friends decided to experience this adrenaline-pumping adventure without realizing the danger they were about to face. Before the cage could even sink to the depths, a massive great white shark attacked, slamming into the bars with enough force to nearly break through the iron. Luckily, the cage held strong. If it hadn't, there might not have been anyone left on the ship to count the two brave tourists. A group of Australian travelers set out on a small expedition. After sailing a few kilometers, they decided to take a short break and catch some fish for lunch. The entire process was being filmed by a small camera, which alerted them to the presence of a large living object nearby. Moments later, the camera lens captured a gray reef shark, a species capable of reaching speeds of up to 45 kilometers per hour. Fortunately, the group had two sharp harpoons at the ready, prepared to fire if necessary, which successfully deterred the predator. In another story, a fishing enthusiast who loved capturing his adventures on camera likely thought twice before ever fishing alone in the open sea again. Thanks to his selfie camera, he spotted an approaching shark. However, the warning did little to prevent the encounter. The shark nearly knocked him off his boat, but he managed to keep his balance. Luckily for him, the predator did not attempt a second strike, allowing him to finish his fishing trip unscathed. Diving to the bottom of the ocean is always a risky activity, even under the supervision of an experienced instructor. Off the coast of Indonesia, divers often encounter small predators, but this time was entirely different. At a depth of 3 meters, a tourist and his guide spotted a large white shark. Initially, the shark showed little interest in the strangers. However, after a couple of minutes, it seemed to change its mind and approach them with intent. Gripping their harpoons tightly, the brave scuba divers assumed a defensive position. Ultimately, the shark decided not to attack, likely realizing that its jaws were no match for two adults armed and ready. An experienced rower can perform incredible maneuvers on their vessel, outrunning the wind and navigating treacherous waters. But even they are unlikely to outpace a bloodthirsty shark. This rower, however, proved to be extraordinarily lucky. While attempting to pick up speed, he accidentally struck a shark with his oar. Without hesitation, the shark retaliated, biting the edge of the boat. Despite the sudden attack, the rower managed to maintain his balance and paddle to safety, far from the perilous encounter. And finally, a story about some truly brave divers. These adventurers, who film footage for their YouTube channel, must have nerves of steel. During one of their recordings, a large reef shark took a keen interest in their activities. Surprisingly, the scuba divers were not alarmed. In fact, they seemed thoroughly amused by the encounter. They eagerly filmed the shark and even went so far as to stroke it. Judging by how the shark hesitated to swim away, it seemed to enjoy the attention as well. Well, friends, that's all for today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.